Thanks for joining me this week. You know, making a marriage work is really a 50-50 proposition, and a friend of mine, Ted Klontz, likes to say that each spouse is 100% responsible for his or her 50%. That being said, there's also a 50% probability that any marriage isn't going to work. Now, what happens to the 50% of people who do get a divorce? Well, most couples find their own respective attorneys and spend months, maybe even years, in an embittered battle over property, possessions, and custody. When the smoke all clears, few spouses or children emerge emotionally or financially intact. A divorce is not a pretty process. But you know, it doesn't have to be this way. There is a process called a collaborative divorce, which is another option that very few people know about. With this approach, the goal is for all parties, spouses and children, to have their highest priorities addressed. Every aspect of the divorce is negotiated rather than having a trial judge make all the decisions for you. Here's how a collaborative divorce would work. The couple employs a divorce or collaboration team, which consists of 2 attorneys, 2 divorce counselors, an advocate for the children, a financial expert, and if there's a lot of real estate or business, an appraiser. The team works in collaborative fashion to resolve the financial, property, and custody issues which are inherent in most divorces. Now, collaboration means there are no secrets. The attorneys share information with each other and the financial professionals. Hiding assets is not permitted, nor is covering up the reason for the divorce. The idea of creating such an environment is almost laughable when you consider that the couple probably stopped speaking to one another, or at least being civil, months ago. That's where the collaboration team comes in. The 2 divorce coaches support the spouses and help facilitate discussions between the warring or divorcing couple. The coaches can help them separate their feelings of hurt and betrayal, sadness, and anger from the objectivity that's needed to make really crucial financial or custody decisions. And making such decisions rationally is of extreme importance so that in the future they don't regret a poor decision that was prompted by a difficult emotion. A child advocate, typically a therapist, works with the children, both to help them process the separation of their parents and to advocate for their best interests. A number of studies indicate that children of divorced parents who left on amiable terms are far less likely to abuse alcohol, drugs, sex than kids whose parents left embittered. Now, the financial expert can be a CFP, could be a CPA, or some other qualified financial professional. This advisor's job is to provide unbiased advice on how to fairly structure the division of assets and balance out cash flows. This will include looking at the big picture and how a strategic split of the assets can best serve each spouse and the children. The financial expert, along with the appraiser if necessary, will facilitate the valuation of assets such as real estate, business interests, personal property, retirement plans, pension plans, stock options, and any other financial assets. He or she will also take into consideration each spouse's earning capacity and cash flow needs. In most cases, this process really works. If, however, the spouses can't agree and decide to go to court instead, or after working in the collaborative process just cannot reach a decision, they can't employ any of the professionals on the collaborative team during or after the divorce is completed. Now, this is an interesting twist to this process. It means that the couple's got to start all over with all of their advisors, basically from square one. Now, this provision is really necessary to ensure that every professional on the collaboration team is neutral and negotiating without bias. You might think that employing a team of professionals like this must cost a lot more than a normal divorce, and Actually, according to what I read, it's just the opposite. It costs about 1/3 as much as a contested divorce done in an adversarial way. While no one wants to think about a divorce, if you do find yourself splitting the sheets someday, a collaborative divorce may be a better way. Thanks for joining me.